The Battle of Lake Erie, 1813, and Perry's Memorial. This video is going to talk about Commodore Perry and his legacy in the Battle of Lake Erie in 1813. The War of 1812 was not going well for the Americans up until Commodore Perry won the Battle of Lake Erie in 1813. He defeated an English fleet, even with various trials and tribulations like casualties and the weather advantage the English had for the start of the battle. Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial was erected on Put-in-Bay in celebration of the lasting peace of Britain, Canada, and the United States. In the video, you could see that wonderful monument. These are the shores of Put-in-Bay. The British had a base in Fort Malden, but they couldn't leave the base because Fort Detroit would be taken. In addition, they had a supply line that was fed by ships on Lake Erie. Perry cut off the supply chain, and they were cut off. So they were trapped, and they had to come out after their food rations had run out, and that marked the beginning of Battle of Lake Erie. Now, the American ships were steering west-northwest, and unfortunately the wind was blowing from the west-southwest. So basically, like me, it wasn't going well. So for 2 hours, Commodore Perry repeatedly attempted to get the wind behind the ships, to no avail. Just as Commodore Perry was about to issue orders to turn his fleet around, the wind suddenly shifted and gave him an advantage. So we will see in this video if that happens for me. You're able to see a fun activity that we participated in. It shows the impact of wind on the type of wind-dependent ships that were used during the Battle of Lake Erie. The ships are made out of sponges, paper, and like a very large toothpick. They're called something else, but I don't know right now. And essentially, if the wind is not blowing them correctly, as mine wasn't really working out at all, it just doesn't really work. If they're blowing in the opposite direction, that's really where the ship goes. There are a lot of different fun history markers, like this is the first ship-to-shore radio broadcast, and they've got really fun Ohio history markers throughout all of Put-in-Bay. But the activity that we just did showed the great importance of wind in battle. Now we are going towards the monument. The Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial was built between 1912 and 1915 to honor those who had fallen during the Battle of Lake Erie and to commemorate the peace between Britain, Canada, and the United States. The memorial is 352 feet tall and contains the remains of 3 American officers and 3 British officers who were killed in battle. In this video, you can see just how tall it is. Very, very, very tall. The Battle of Lake Erie allowed the Americans to secure control of the lake and force the British to abandon Fort Malden and retreat on the Thames River. This is actually the visitor center, but it was closed. But inside of it is a super awesome depiction, a statue of Commodore Perry. Because of the dual victories of Lake Erie and Thames, the state of Ohio and Michigan would remain as territory of the United States of America.